Come on. Come on. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There's a tack on the floor. I don't want to step on that. Hi, my name's Karina, and I haven't made a video in a long time. First video I made was in January of 2017. Was it January? It might have been February. It was winter, and it had snowed, and I made hot chocolate, and it was a great time. Here's a clip from that. Hi, my name's Karina, and it snowed yesterday. So you can see how much I've changed. And then the second video I made was in the summer when I was lifeguarding. It was in the summer, and I was very sad. And I had just gotten my dog. So she was in that. She is not in this video because she won't come inside. I love my dog. She'll only come inside for food. I decided I wanted to make a video because currently in Oklahoma we are experiencing a teacher walkout, and it's been a week and a half, and I am desperately bored and very sad. And why not take this opportunity when I'm not having school to make a video? Who knows when we're gonna go back to school? Hopefully it'll be soon. I am very sad. I asked people on my social media if they wanted to see a story time about me going to an amusement park and having a wild experience, or if they wanted to see a story time about me getting stalked. And they wanted to see the amusement park one. Hopefully I'll get creative with my editing in this video and actually make it decent quality compared to my last videos, which were edited in Windows Movie Maker. We'll see. I figure since it is spring, it's April, this is a nice story time to tell because it's like, oh, summer, it is hot in here. I want my orange juice. Anyway, let's just get right into the story. So, school was about to end last year, 2017. School was about to end. I was a freshman. I was having a great time. I was dating somebody. I was so happy and so full of life. What am I looking at? I was living with my dad at the time, which my parents are divorced, so half of the week I live with my mom and half the week I live with my dad. So it's Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and alternate Saturdays that I live with my dad. And school ended on maybe a Thursday, I don't really remember. And so my stepmom, the day after school ended, randomly decided that she wanted to take us to an amusement park, which is a really spontaneous decision because my stepmom is an online teacher. She does not make any money, and she's just randomly decided she was going to take me, my two stepsisters, and my stepbrother to an amusement park, which was like 3 hours drive away. So she tells us the night after school ends, and she's like, we're going to an amusement park tomorrow.
And we're like, okay, sure. I mean, first day of summer, let's go to an amusement park.
So the next day we get in the car. It's a 4-hour drive. I'm extremely bored. My phone's on 50% when we get there. We pull up, and it's not the best thing from the outside to see. Like when you pull up to Disney World, there's like a whole gate like,
oh, welcome to Disney World, whoa, and then you can see like the castle and like Space Mountain and the Epcot Fall.
But this place was a little underwhelming. There was one roller coaster that you could see from the outside. For the purpose of this video, because I'm not giving them that promo, we're gonna call this, this amusement park is called Funville. I want to make sure I'm still rolling, just to make sure. we get to the park, and our plan is to go to a water park and an amusement park in this. There's two parks. I guess the amusement park had a water park in it. So I have my backpack, you know, my little mini backpack. It's nice and rose gold. It's my favorite bag. Has my swimsuit in it, which I was really confident in, but really I looked really ugly. So we start walking around in this amusement park, and all the rides are like normal. Like they have like the pirate ship ride that goes upside down, and they have like some mediocre roller coasters, and it's like, okay, sure, it's fine. I described it as a off-brand Six Flags because it felt like it was trying to be Six Flags, but it wasn't. And so we're going on rides. There's boys everywhere, and if you know me, you know how I feel about boys, and they're staring at me because I don't know, I'm not attractive. They're staring at me and I feel uncomfortable, and we're getting on a ride, and it's just not a fun time to start out with. But then all the fun stuff starts to happen. My youngest stepsister at the time was 9, and then the twins were 13? I want to say they were 13. They wanted to go on this big roller coaster, and at the time I didn't like roller coasters, and my youngest stepsister didn't like roller coasters because she was 9, and so my stepmom agreed to go on this roller coaster with the twins. What had happened was they went up to go on the roller coaster, and it was big and scary, and so I just sat under a pavilion with my youngest stepsister, and we played I Spy for like an hour. It was a long time. We were sitting there playing I Spy, and it was super hot, and we were gross and sticky, and our drink had run out because we had gotten those refillable cups that you can get at literally any amusement park, and we wanted to refill it. But our stepmom told us, or my stepmom told us not to move from that spot. And so I text my stepmom and I say, can I go get a refill real quick? And she says, don't worry, we're almost on the ride. We can go get a refill when we get off. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're still playing I Spy, and we start to notice that there's security kind of mulling around. And it's been 20 minutes since they said that they were going to get on the ride. And it doesn't take that long to be on a roller coaster. So we're kind of noticing the security kind of just being there. We see them go up into like the exit for the ride. The twins, my step-siblings, come down from the ride and they walk over to us, and I'm a little confused because like, what's going on? Why is there security? Where am I? I'm dissociating. So what had happened was they were getting on the ride, and my stepmom had her hands in her lap, and the attendant for the ride wasn't paying attention, and he lowered the lap bar and it smashed her finger, and my dad had proposed to her again. That's a different story. They were gonna get married again soon, and it smashed the engagement ring to be like flat, and it cut her finger. And that ring was apparently very expensive and very meaningful to her, so she flipped the heck out. She's causing a ruckus. She's like,
my finger is barely even cut at all. My ring is smashed. It's ruined.
Causing a big scene. So that's why the security was there. And the 4 of us are embarrassed. And then we hear a siren, and we notice an ambulance, like a park ambulance, pull up. It's a golf cart with like a stretcher and like some medical equipment on it. It's not that great. It wasn't that extravagant. So my stepmom comes off the ride. She has security officers with her. She's making a big fuss. She's yelling and,
"Oh, look at this ring. It's ruined. My finger is cut just barely."
That's my impression of my stepmom. So the ambulance is already there. My stepmom comes down with the security guards, and they're like,
we're gonna take you to the front office where we can give her first aid and talk about this whole thing.
and so they get us onto the ambulance. At this point, I'm freaking out because I'm like, what's happening? This is wild. This is extreme. I don't know what's going on. At that moment, I caught this video.
Okay, so we were on the roller coaster, and let's see.
Wait.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. And my mom, she was sitting in the seat, and she had her hands down like in her lap. And then after that, this guy came over and like slammed the thing on her hand. So yeah, we're in an ambulance.
Which, mind that it's shaky. It was recorded by my stepsister, but I recorded it just for posterity. I felt like it was important to have on camera just for later, maybe if I needed it, which I ended up using it now. So we get to the office, and it's really empty. There's a desk, what is the word that I'm thinking of? Not security. Secretary. There's a secretary desk. There's just a guy sitting there, and there's no chairs, and I needed to charge my phone. I had my phone charger on me, so I sat on the floor near the wall and plugged in my phone. And is like yelling at this guy.
I'm gonna get an insurance claim and you're gonna pay for this ring.
And they're like,
We literally aren't responsible for any damage or property.
it's an amusement park. Like, they don't pay for that kind of stuff. My throat is dry. She's filling out the paperwork for an insurance claim. And the guy behind the counter, he's just like,
Hey, do you guys want some popsicles?
and we're like,
What?
he's like,
Do you want some popsicles?
and we were like,
Okay,
so he goes back into like the staff only, like, you know, there's like a break room with like a fridge, and he gets out those push popsicles. I call them Otter Pops just because it's cute and I like the name Otter Pops. Here's a picture, or 2 pictures. I think I had 2 pictures from that of me eating the popsicles and dying. We're just sitting on the floor of this office. There's no chairs or anything. My stepmom has a very intense energy to her. She's very stressed about this ring that my dad gave to her like yesterday. And this very like upright woman wearing a nice red dress and heels, like holding a binder, looks really official. She comes up to us and she says,
I am so sorry for this whole situation. I'm the manager of the park, and I apologize deeply that this has happened to you.
I'm stunned, like, because I'm like, this really isn't a big deal. Yes, the ring is smashed, but that can be fixed, and her hand isn't even cut. Like, it's just barely scraped. Like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But my stepmom is making this huge deal out of it. So the manager lady is like,
Listen, we don't want any trouble for this.
basically she didn't want us to sue her. So she's like,
I'm gonna let you eat lunch at any place on the park for free.
and we were like,
Great. We love food. We're hungry. It's like 100 million degrees outside, and it's great.
and so she recommends the fanciest place at the park, which is expensive and it's like nice and it's got a lakeside view and you can sit there and it's seafood and it's nice. And so we're like,
Great. We're gonna get free food, and it's expensive, and we're gonna enjoy it, and everything's gonna be fine.
my stepmom's already filled out all the paperwork. She's given it to them. She has a copy in her purse. We're like,
Okay, let's go get some food and forget this ever happened. We already finished our popsicles. Everything's fine.
this place that was expensive was all the way across the park. So we were like, okay, let's go over there. So we march across the park. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside, and we get there and it's closed. And we're a little confused because why would the manager recommend that place to us if it's closed? So we decide we'll go to the next place that's nearby. So we go over to this barbecue place a little ways away, and it's hot and it's closed. What kind of amusement park has all of their restaurants closed? So we're like,
Okay. What's going on?
so we get the attention of someone who works at the park, and we're like,
Hey, where can we eat?
and they're like,
We only have one restaurant open in the park, and it's all the way across the park near the water park.
we're hot and sweaty. It's about 3 p.m. and we're like,
Okay, we're gonna go across the park and get some food.
so we finally get to this restaurant, and it's the only restaurant open in the park, and it didn't seem like there was anyone else in the park when we were there because the rides lines were extremely short, and the restaurant is packed. So the restaurant's packed. It's packed out the door, like way out the door, like way out the door. It's going down the sidewalk. We were standing for 20 minutes, and we finally sit down. 20 minutes later, we get our food. We're like,
Yes, finally, we can eat.
and it's cold and it's horrible food. It's like the worst food that it was awful. It was like gross cold chicken, and it was gross. Family gets back about 10 minutes later. They eat. It's even colder by that point. We're all sad and tired. I had finished my food already, so I went to the bathroom and changed into my swimming suit. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. Stop it, Instagram, I'm making a video. So we decide we're going to go to the water park because it's hot and we're sweaty and it's gross, and we're like, okay, nothing can ruin this, it's fine. So we get our swimsuits on and we go to the water park. And I go in. It's a nice water park, it's a nice pool, there's some slides, like it's great. So I get in and it's freezing cold, like unbearably cold. And I guess that's fine because it was so hot outside. I'm very sensitive about the way that my hair looks. So I didn't want to get my hair wet. It was in a bun and I didn't want to get it wet. So I just decided that I'm not gonna like get in far enough for my hair to get wet because I didn't want it to be wet and not feel good. And my stepsisters are having a great time. They're like, you know, pushing each other into the pool, and it's cold and nice, and I'm just kind of standing there, and they're trying to get me to go in, you know. And my stepbrother, he's sensitive about himself, and he didn't want to go swimming, so he's just kind of sitting in a chair with my stepmom, and I wasn't gonna get in the pool that much, so I get out and I go sit next to him, and I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, I'm ready to leave, I'm exhausted, this has been a wild time. But to wrap the day up, the lifeguards blow their whistles and everyone has to get out of the pool. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm a lifeguard. I was analyzing the situation. I was like, who's hurt? What's going on? So it turns out somebody had had a seizure in the pool, hurt their back, and I don't know if you know anything about lifeguarding procedures, but when somebody has a seizure in the pool or has a back injury, you are required, not required, but you are just, the thing that you do is you backboard them, which backboarding means that something is seriously wrong. If you have to backboard somebody, things are bad. And so they are backboarding this kid, like seriously. Like there are 10 lifeguards around this kid. They are backboarding him, pulling him out of the water, giving him CPR. They were giving this kid CPR, and they were like having to have crowd control. They were like having to have crowd control to keep people away, and it was wild. And an ambulance pulls up, and it was scary. And so at this point I turned to my stepmom, and my stepsisters had gotten out of the pool and they were standing near us, and I was like, we should leave. And she was like,
yes, we should.
it was 4 o'clock, it's not the right time to leave the amusement park, but we were done. We were like, no, we are going to leave. And it was the worst thing because it was hot and I was wet and tired and sad, and it was not fun. It was not a fun experience, and I don't ever want to go there again. Anyway, it was a wild time, and it was a wild story, even though it doesn't sound that wild when I tell it on camera, but I mean, I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I mean, it's, I'm trying to get better on my storytelling skills. I like to think that I'm good at telling stories, but we'll find out when I edit this. I'm revamping my channel. I want to do more videos, so if you notice some different editing techniques, that's me trying to do something different, spice it up. Not editing it on Movie Maker. We'll see what I edit it with, because I have a couple different editing softwares. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. Is that what YouTubers do? And subscribe. Wow, I love myself. Woo! Check out my other 2 videos. I haven't done very many videos ever, but I plan to make more. I've been saying that for years, not years, months now. But I actually did enjoy making this, so we'll see how it goes. If I don't make any more videos, you can kill me. I hate myself. Thanks for watching. Bye!